Today, we're going to be touring this 2012 Sanlorenzo SD92. This yacht, as the name implies, is 92 feet in length. The beam is 22.5 feet in width, and it has a draft of 6 feet and 3 inches. And this one is presented for sale by the Italian Yacht Group. Now, Sanlorenzo is a well-known Italian yacht builder. I also really think the layout is great on this one. We have 4 cabins on the inside. We have the owner suite, a full beam VIP cabin down below, and then 2 additional guest cabins. So without further ado, we'll get this tour started. Also, it's kind of hard to tell if the camera's picking it up well, but this has a lovely 2-tone paint job where we have a grayer paint but down below, and then the white GRP up top. And there is some music blasting back here. There's nothing I can do about that because it's actually from the booth, not the boat. So if we get a copyright strike, I might have to do some voiceover. But I will show you the back of the yacht. You have a hydraulic swim platform, and then we also have the tender garage. You can fit a tender and a jet ski in here, or a combination of water toys. Keep in mind, guys, as we're going through this one, this yacht is under 100 feet in length, so I think they did a pretty great job with the layout, all things considered. So let's go ahead and make our way on board. Starting with the aft deck, as you'll see, we have the alfresco dining area. There are sideboarding gates on each side. And then Sanlorenzo always incorporates the doors really well. This door actually leads down to the engine room. This one leads up to the flybridge. So I like how they hide the stairs that lead up in that direction instead of having stairs that protrude into the aft deck space. And then of course in the middle is the main door to the main salon. And as you can see, you have the reverse curve. So you have a little bit of extra space out here on the aft deck. Excuse me. Just working around some traffic there for a moment. As you can see, we step into the main salon. You have the L-shaped seating here with some additional chairs. I like the accent lights that are flanking in the ceiling. And then there is a TV that rises up over here. And additionally, you have all of this storage space. And then back here, we have some storage for glassware. And you do have a refrigerator as well. So if you want to grab a quick drink, you can do so from back here. Continuing forward in this space, we'll find the dining room. The glass table is very sleek. Then I also like how we have the glass wall, which leads down to the guest cabins. So it kind of opens up the space. I really like that. Now before we head into the guest cabins, let's go over and take a look at the galley. On both sides of this yacht, you have side access doors. So there's one right here, and even these doors are curved. This one's just slightly curved, but hey, it's still curved, so I wanted to point it out. We have a wine fridge down here. And we also have the day head. And then continuing forward on the port side, this is where we find the galley. You can see your sink, oven, cooktop, full-size refrigerator and freezer. This will be your dishwasher. And then continuing down forward, down this staircase, this is where we find the crew mess. Where you can see another refrigerator. And then you also have the washer and dryer at the end of the hall. And then the crew cabins are on either side of this hallway. You can see a door on each side and then a third here. So I imagine captain's cabin and then the 2 additional crew cabins. And then of course, before we leave this area up here, this is the raised pilot house. We'll check it out now since we're over here. I love how they keep the same millwork all throughout the yacht in all the different areas. You can see your very plush captain's chair. And then all of the controls for the super yacht. And you also have the L-shaped seating. Actually, that's just the desk. So you just have the bench seating just after this space. And then of course, we also have direct access to the flybridge from this area. And if I didn't mention it before, of course, or if you haven't noticed, this is a raised pilot house design. But we're gonna head back down. We're not gonna go upstairs yet because we need to check out the owner suite as well as the guest cabins. Here's another double door leading out to the side deck. And then through this door, the owner's domain begins. We have storage all along here. And here's a quick peek in the walk-in closet. The ensuite is just aft of the bed. We'll check that out in a moment. But first, here you can see the main part of the room. You have a king bed in the middle. Storage in all of these different sections. There's another TV that rises up from here. And you do get a small dressing table or desk over in the corner. And I also really like the large windows you get, both on the sides, but then also in the front. So you get a view out onto the bow, and you also get tons of natural light in this space. And then as mentioned, the ensuite is just aft of the bed. And as you can see, this is also the full beam of the yacht. So we have the vanity. This entire wall is mirrored. There is a skylight, which I really like. And then on the far side, this is where we find the shower with the built-in bench. And this is a rainfall shower head. And then right over here is where we find the toilet and bidet. So down this staircase, this is where we find all the guest cabins. We'll start with the 2 smaller cabins forward. This is cabin number 3 and 4. And they are mirrored to each other, but they're 2 extremely large single beds with the storage underneath. And then they both face the TV that's mounted. And this room also features the rainfall shower head and a small bench. So even if you're in the smallest cabin, you're still really well taken care of. And also, before we look at the 4th cabin, look at these 2 beautiful profile shots of the yacht. Let me see if I can get my reflection out of the shot. These Sanlorenzos look absolutely beautiful in the water. And I think this picture also gives a better shot of that 2-tone paint job. And I didn't open it earlier, but here is the closet for the room. All right, now we're gonna go see the VIP cabin. And this is extremely impressive. Of course, you're giving up a little bit of space because you probably could have fit an extra cabin, but this VIP cabin is just as nice as the owner's suite. As you can see, it's the full beam of the yacht, so you have windows on either side. They have a dressing table over here. Then, of course, the ensuite. So I was very impressed to see this room. Like I said, it's basically just as nice as the owner's suite. It just happens to be downstairs. So who knows, some people actually might want to opt to use this room. But you have to let me know how you would use this in the comment section below. And if you're enjoying the Sanlorenzo yacht tour so far, please leave a like on the video and also subscribe to the channel if you're new. We post a new yacht or super yacht tour every single week. All right, we're gonna head back out to the aft deck. That door is incredibly smooth, even though it's extremely large. So that's always appreciated. And then here you can see the integrated stairs I was talking about. They're tucked away so nicely. But before we go upstairs, before I forget, let's go forward to the bow. You have extremely wide and deep side decks on here. It feels like a much larger super yacht. And I'm gonna have to adjust the camera because it's very bright out here. But this is such a cool area. Of course, you have the working space with all your ground tackle. But then here we can see you have the sun pad across, but underneath these two triangle pieces, these are adjustable tables. So you can see the tables are all the way lowered. So if you wanted to, this could be a great place for a morning cup of coffee. You move these cushions, raise up the tables to a normal sitting height, then you can have a little breakfast meal or just coffee out here. Or if you just wanted to lounge and enjoy a drink, you could. The options are endless out here. And then here, this faces the owner suite that we saw before. So that's that massive window, bringing in all that natural light. All right, now I think we're gonna head up to the flybridge. And let's see what we find up here. I think we'll start all the way forward and then work our way back. So as you can see, this is where the raised pilot house is located. And then you have your second helm station right over here. So we have the large bench, another massive steering wheel, and then the second set of controls. And this front area is also protected because we have these partitions zippered in. And that protection extends to about halfway back on the flybridge. And I actually really like how this is set up. You have the mast right in the middle, but it's set pretty far forward. It looks like a large freezer or refrigerator chest right here. I'm sure there's storage underneath this part. But then also underneath here, you'll find the grill and a large refrigerator. And then the bar area is located on the other side of this mast. So you can see the small ladder for the crew if they need to get up there. And also it's integrated nicely and you have the stainless steel accents. So they make it a decorative piece in addition to being functional. But then here you can see the bar area. Fully stocked, you have your ice maker and refrigerator. And then just after this, you have your alfresco dining space. And then this is where the hardtop ends. And then we have a massive, and I mean absolutely massive, L-shaped seating section that fills out the rest of the space. This, of course, could be customized to your liking. We have the lovely accent tables. So you could get a massive group of people to lounge out on here. And you'll have to let me know how you would utilize the space. All right, I think it's time we head down to the engine room. I believe that's the remaining place we haven't seen. Now we will also access the engine room through a door similar to this. I think I pointed it out earlier. It's located right over here. There we go, they actually had a hook to keep that secure. So I will keep that in mind when I'm heading down the stairs. I will hook it back into place. Give me a moment. There we go. And it's definitely a steep staircase, but it's still a staircase, not a ladder. All right, we've made it. As you can see, you have your generator on each side, and then of course the engines. And you can maybe make it out on top of the engine. These are MTU engines. More specifically, these are MTU 10V 2000 engines rated at 2,000 horsepower each. Your top speed is 16 knots. You can cruise at 12, and you're looking at an estimated 1,400 nautical miles of range. Then let's come over here. You can see more engineering spaces, and also this is the garage cutout. So we have to crouch walk, but you'll see there is access to the tender garage. It's very dark though, so I don't think you can see much, but that's your tender right there. Then of course we have more electrical systems over here and some storage. All right, just give us a moment. I want to make sure this is latched correctly how it was before. There we go, wasn't too bad. All right, I think we've seen every area on the yacht. Here's another look at the main salon. Thank you, of course, to the Italian Yacht Group for granting me access on board. Let me know what you think of this one in the comment section. And if you want to see another incredible Sanlorenzo listing from IYG, click this button right here so you can check it out. And we will catch you next time.